Hey guys, Mike from CoachMikeMacDonald.com here, the channel where we help business owners generate more traffic, leads, and sales for their business with digital marketing, paid advertising, and automation. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the SEO secrets I use to increase my organic traffic by over 30 times in 8 months. And so let's get into it. So a lot of people think of SEO as being incredibly complicated, that you need to be very techy to be able to make it work. And while some of those aspects are true, I think a lot of the basic foundation principles of writing content that does well via SEO isn't really that tough. It's really just kind of learning those foundation skills, and mastering those is what's going to get you consistent results. And again, like I said, this miraculous transformation that I saw on my website wasn't more so getting lucky, right? It's that consistent effort, doing the right things over a period of time, and you'll continue to start seeing that growth when you apply the same principles on your website as well. So one awesome tool that I recommend getting that I think is a great foundation that's going to help anyone, especially if you're not super tech savvy or don't have a very big background in SEO, is a plugin called Yoast. And so they have a paid version and they have a free version. And really, if you're just getting started, there's a lot that you can do with it on the free version as well. And so when you're doing this, it's really going to map out various tips that you want to use to optimize for specific keyword terms. So here's just a quick snapshot of Yoast and kind of what it looks like and the different categories that they tell you to implement on your site. But what's neat is if you don't really understand what one of these things means, you can just click on each description and it's going to go into more detail of exactly what that thing means. And so again, it really kind of holds your hand through optimizing your website with SEO. Now, if you don't believe me that I did have this miraculous increase in traffic, here's actually just a snapshot where you can see in this 8-month time frame, really the traffic actually increased more than 30 times when you look at clicks. But as you can see, well over 30 times increase of impressions and clicks onto the website. So it's very powerful when you implement these SEO secrets. So in addition to using Yoast as a tool to kind of give you that general foundation of doing the technical side of things, the reality is the biggest key factor to getting better results ranking via SEO is to actually write quality content. You know, a lot of times what Google is doing now is going in and they're looking at what is the user experience. So if someone comes to your website, they don't like the content, they're probably going to leave right away. They're not going to stick around to read it. And that gives them signals that if they're leaving right away, your content didn't do a good job of solving their query on the search engine. So writing quality content is key and foremost the foundation of this, because you can optimize garbage content all you want. The likelihood that it's going to rank isn't very high. So make sure that you write quality content as the foundation. Now, with that in mind, one mistake that I made early on is that I wrote quality content, but it wasn't necessarily what people were actually searching for. And this is really a big factor, that you need to combine that quality content with what people are actually searching in the search engines, where there's a lot of times where I would create content that was surrounding what I knew people needed to know. So there was a lot of value with it, but it wasn't exactly lined up with what people were searching for. So people never really found it. So what I've found is that a better strategy to do is find what people are looking for, create content based around that keyword research, and then put the value into it. Then put your own voice into it and optimize it along with your message. So one of the great ways to actually come up with topic ideas and content ideas and blog post topics to cover that do optimize for SEO is actually right on Google. So what happens is you can actually hop over on Google, type in a search, and you're gonna see what comes up, right? And so when you do this, you can actually scroll down a little bit on the page and you're gonna find a section that says people also ask. And so what's neat about this is these are search terms that people are actually typing into Google. So a lot of people are doing it to show up in this people also ask category. And so when you see different questions on there outlined, those can be great foundation topics to cover in your content. So you can see those questions, figure out the answer to that, put your own voice to it. Or again, sometimes what you'll see is that each one of these questions might not be worth dedicating an entire post to, but you could contain that question and answer in a larger post. And so this is a great way to come up with topic ideas that people are actually searching for. So if you go ahead and make content based around that, people want to know those answers. So again, there's already a built-in traffic source for those questions. Another cool strategy that you can do is actually just continue to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page on Google, and you're gonna see suggested related searches. And so you could type in a search like internet marketing, and it's gonna give you a bunch of different searches that are related to internet marketing. And so again, these are things that people are actually typing into Google and searching for them. So if these options that come up for you make sense or are relevant, you could create content based around that. You can even click on them and kind of like dive down the rabbit hole, right? And you can go in, have that be your main search term now, and then do the same strategy. Look at the questions, scroll to the bottom, see the related searches, and it's just kind of a never-ending flow of key ideas that are going to be great to write content about that are also optimized for keyword search. Another great method you can do is the Google ABC method. And so this is actually very simple. You're going to take that base term, that base keyword that you want to rank for, and then type A after that, right? So it would be like if I did internet marketing A, and then internet marketing B, internet marketing C, and then Google is gonna make these automatic suggestions for you. And again, find the ones that are relevant, find the ones that make sense that you could write a topic about. Then what happens is these are great terms to actually write content about, because again, people are actually searching for these in Google. They're typing this in. That's why it's coming up, because enough people did that. And so again, these are why they're suggesting those terms for you. So it's almost endless. You could do the ABC method on all kinds of main keywords that you want to rank for, and it's going to give you a lot of great ideas to pull in and to work with. Along with this idea is the idea of using long tail keywords. So again, if I wanted to rank for internet marketing, that might be really difficult. But if I do that ABC method, I might get a longer term that is 3 or 4, 5 or 6 words long, right? And so I might be able to rank for that longer term a lot easier. So what you want to do is just click on that search term, see the comparable results that are coming up, and if you feel like you can write a better post than the ones that are out there, you're more likely going to show up well in the search results. So this is a great way to find kind of hidden gems, hidden low-hanging fruit that you can tap into and create content that's going to do very well on search. So longer tail keywords, especially if you have a brand new website, are usually a lot easier to rank for than main keyword terms like marketing or business, right? Where the top sites are gonna already kind of have that real estate taken. But if you jump into those longer tail keywords, you can build that foundation, start getting consistent traffic to your website. And then as you tackle those bigger main keywords, you'll tend to get better results when you do that. Now, jumping to your actual site when you're writing content, one thing that you want to do is put keywords in the header tags. So you might have heard things like H1 tags or H2, H3, right? They actually go all the way up to 6. And so what you can do is that when you're writing a blog post, on the top left corner in your editor, instead of doing like the paragraph, you just click the drop down arrow, and then it's going to show you the different headings that you can use. And so these can kind of break up your content, use these to start new paragraphs. But again, you want to plug in keywords to these headings, because that gives, again, signals to Google that that's what this post is about. Now, don't keyword stuff doing this, right? You kind of want to use different variations of the keyword or different options related to that keyword, right, that you're also maybe trying to rank for. But these are great things to add in on the technical side of the SEO of your website. Another great tip that you want to do is make sure that you put videos and images in your content. And this is mainly because it's based on user intent, right? So when you go to a website, you're usually not going to want to read like a novel, right? So if it's several thousand words long and it's just straight text, it's kind of boring, it's kind of hard to read, you get distracted, right? So by including videos and images, it keeps people engaged, it keeps their attention up. And again, the longer people stay on your website, the better the page is going to end up ranking, and the higher search results you're going to get, the more traffic you're going to get, right? So what happens is when you make a video version of your content and put that in there, some people just prefer that, right? Some people prefer auditory learning and visual learning over just reading something. And so when you have all those elements in there, it engages with more people get a better experience from it. And again, let's say you made a 10-15 minute video and that's embedded. Well, that could be 15 minutes somebody spends on that page, and they end up going and reading the document as well. So they might be on there for 20-30 minutes or more on a single post because you've included a lot of video. So again, it makes the post more comprehensive, it creates more engagement, and it's a better way to help your post ranks by including pictures and videos. The next thing that you want to do is make sure that you write quality headlines and meta descriptions. And so what this is you could have the best content in the world, right? But if no one clicks on the post, if the title isn't catchy enough to get them to click on it, the likelihood they're going to actually see your post is non-existent, right? And the same thing with the meta description. And if you're not familiar with that, that's basically the text that comes under the title when it's showing up in the search results. So what you want to do with this is make sure you have a headline that creates curiosity, that drives people to actually want to click on the post. And then same thing with that meta description. You actually want to describe what the post is about, what kind of benefits the person reading it is going to get, kind of sell them on the post. And then if you can fit it in there, also include a call to action to click on the post and go read it, right? And so this is an effective way to get more clicks to your website. And so there's actually a really cool tool. There's all kinds of them out there, but one that I like to use is a headline analyzer, and it's by sharethrough.com. And so you can actually go there, just simply type in a headline, and then it's going to give you a score of how well it did. And so what's cool with this is you can kind of start to learn as you do this over time what words are more engaging than others and how to really phrase titles to get a high score. And the higher the score, again, the more likely people are going to actually click on that title and want to check out the content. And they even give you tips on what to do and how to improve based on your score. So it's a really cool option and it's free. And so this can really help you write better headlines that get a better click-through rate. And again, you know, when Google ranks you up there, the higher you are, they're expecting you to get a lot of clicks on that post. And so if you don't, they're not going to rank you high. Or again, if you're lower and you're not ranking right now, but you really improve the headline of your post so more people start clicking on it. Well, if you have a really high click-through rate and they're not really showing a lot of traffic to it, they're gonna think, well, you know, maybe this should be ranking higher because we're barely showing it and almost everyone that's seeing it is clicking on it. We should give this more exposure. And so again, making sure that you have a good meta description, a good title that's going to get click-throughs is a great way to help your pages rank better and get more organic traffic with SEO. And that Yoast plugin that I talked about, they actually give you an option to write your own meta description. So if you don't write that, Google kind of just randomly takes text from your post and makes that the meta description. So you ideally want to write that in yourself so you can control it and optimize it to make sure that you get the best results and the most click-throughs on that headline and that meta description. Now, one technique that a lot of people talk about when it comes to SEO is getting backlinks, and that's going to help you rank your site better. And so over the years, there's been various techniques to do this. Some of them are considered black hat SEO, which are kind of shady and could actually maybe temporarily help your site rank, but overall they could hurt your site in the long run and maybe even get you kind of kicked out of search. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that all your backlinking is above board. But typically what you're going to hear is that you should do these reach outs, send these emails like, hey, I think that this post would fit well on your site, or you might include it in your site, blah, blah, blah. And for me, I hate doing that. I think it's a huge waste of time. If you can hire someone and they're gonna go out there and do that, awesome. By all means, go ahead and do that. But for the average person just writing content on their website, that's not really feasible. And in my opinion, I think there's much better ways to spend your time than begging for backlinks. I know whenever I get those emails, I just immediately delete them. They're super annoying, and it's kind of from the standpoint of like, what's in it for the person that you're requesting a backlink from? Nothing, right? And so it's kind of like you're just begging for backlinks. Please link to my site. It comes off as needy and desperate. And ideally, if you wrote quality content, people are going to want to actually link to you, right? And so technically you shouldn't need to do this, because if you've optimized all the other stuff I've talked about so far, you are going to get exposure and people are going to like what they read, and then they're going to start linking back to it naturally. So you don't need to actually beg people to get backlinks. Now, with that being said, there is a cool strategy that I found that can work to get backlinks where you're not actually having to beg people, and you can get a lot of quality ones for free from high quality websites. It's just really going to take you a few minutes of time, and the way to do it is through a site called helpareporter.com or Haro, like help a reporter out. And so this is actually a really cool site where you can sign up. It's free, and you just sign up as a source, basically meaning like you're an expert in your field, you're an expert in your industry, and you're going to be able to answer questions and give advice to journalists that are writing on topics that you might be an expert in. So there's like health and fitness, business and finance, dozens of areas that you can choose to be an expert in or want to receive topics on. And then what happens is you're going to get notified via email. It can happen up to 3 times a day, which is crazy. And each one can have anywhere from like 5 to 20 different, topics that they need answers to. And so what happens is you can actually reply as a source to these things, write, a paragraph or two, your response to a question. And if the person writing the article likes your response, they can actually feature you in that post and in that article. And typically what happens then, you can actually include a link back to your website when you do that. You can also do this in a fashion where you might link them back to a specific post. So if you've already done a major piece of content related to that question, you can just include that as well and be like, hey, I actually wrote an extensive piece on this. Feel free to check that out if you like as well. And so what happens then when they select you, they actually end up linking back to your site. And a lot of times these can be, news article companies, highly prestigious companies as well doing these research. And so when they do link back to you, it's a very powerful quality link to your website. And I think this is a much better option to get backlinks to your website. You're not begging people. It's not desperate, because so many times you waste hours sending these things out and you barely ever get replies, and it's just a big waste of time. So in my opinion, I think if you're gonna try and get backlinks to your site, you're much better off using something like Haro, help a reporter out, and then also just continuing to spend more time writing quality content, because when you have high quality content, people like it, they're gonna share it, they're gonna link to it because you wrote a quality post that's helpful, and that's much better off than trying to beg for backlinks to try and get your site to rank in an unnatural way. But overall, guys, I hope you got some benefit and value out of this video. If you did, feel free to comment and share. If there's other SEO tips that have helped you out and you think that work great, definitely drop them in the comments below. And then if you'd like to learn more about our content marketing services, head to coachmikemcdonald.com and learn more about how we can help you create high quality content that can do well with SEO on your business and website. And then also, if you are struggling to generate leads with your business and you'd like to learn a proven strategy to attract your ideal customers to you, I actually put together a free ebook on my attraction marketing secrets. So if you'd like to get access to that, just click the link below this video, or you can head to coachmikemcdonald.com/ebook. Again, that's coachmikemcdonald.com/ebook. But again, thanks so much for tuning in. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on those bell notifications to get the latest updates of new videos we put out here to help you build a profitable business. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.